The Andre Onana AFCON drama continues. 1 minute he wants to go to AFCON, the next minute he doesn't. He doesn't want to lose his place to BND. He wants to stay longer, so BND can't play. And it's just drama that I can't be bothered with. Manchester United have a big problem that's been exposed that they must fix, and they must sack a coach in order to fix this. We've got some updates and talk on Rasmus Hojlund and why he deserves the backing of United fans. Tenag on Sancho and how he's handled the Sancho situation. How Blanc plans to basically improve Manchester United and actually start the new Man United era. And then Manchester United have received a double bid for 2 of their players. So hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football. Welcome back to another video on the channel. Please do hit that like button and of course subscribe down below if you're new to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and more. So the report that come out today is that Andre Onana is in talks with the Cameroon FA in an attempt to delay his release for AFCON. Onana has indicated he will participate but wants to limit his time away from Manchester United as much as possible. He's keen to make himself available for United's game against Wigan January 8th. Cameroon begin their AFCON campaign against Guinea on January 15th. Now, part of me is like, okay, I like this eager to be at United, this eager to be keen for Manchester United. But I think with Onana, it's been this just drama. 1 minute he's going to AFCON, the next minute he isn't. The next minute he's going to AFCON, the next minute he isn't. The next minute he doesn't want to go to AFCON because of his United form. On, off. It's kind of just like, make your mind up. Go to AFCON or don't go to AFCON. Stay or completely go. Because I actually think it's really important that Bayendier plays that game against Wigan as a warm-up. Bayendier hasn't played for United. He needs a warm-up game to get used to the players. I'd give Bayendier the Wigan game because it's a Wigan game and it's not like it's a really important Champions League game or a really important Premier League game against Man City. It's a game against Wigan. I don't know why he's delaying so he can play against Wigan when that is the perfect opportunity for Bayendier to warm up ahead of the game? The Tottenham game. You know, we wouldn't have played our strongest goalkeeper versus Wigan normally anyway. So why does he want to stay and play against Wigan? It almost feels like he's just doesn't want Bayendier to play. And there was the report that basically Onana's reluctant to go to AFCON because he's worried Bayendier is going to take a spot. And obviously Bayendier is a very highly rated goalkeeper. There's a feeling that Bayendier could come in and take Onana's spot while he's at AFCON. So for me, I think if Onana was delaying his AFCON release because we had a massive game against Liverpool, I'd understand it. But delaying your AFCON release against Wigan, it's just like, well, that's a perfect game for Bayendier to warm up, who hasn't played for United against Wigan. He probably would have played that game anyway, even if you weren't at AFCON. Let Bayendier play in that game. I'm kind of fed up with the whole Willy Won't. But if there's one thing I'm really fed up about Man United, is their set pieces. And I want to show you a statistic which pretty much exposes how crap Manchester United have been at set pieces this season. This was shared by United Marrow, and they said in the 21-22 season, Man United got the 18th most amount of goals from set pieces, so only 2 teams got less than us. But we were obviously fourth for ones conceded, so we were defensively pretty much good at set pieces in the 21-22 season, but scoring were ranked 18th. It got even worse in the 22-23 season, and bear in mind we brought Ramsey in ahead of the 22-23 season, and Manchester United got 5 goals from a set piece that season, which was the worst in the league. And then we got even worse defensively, conceding 10 goals from a set piece that season. And if you look at this current season, we scored 4 goals from a set piece, and that last Hojlund one actually counts. I think we'd be 19th with 3, but we are 15th again for goals scored from a set piece, and then 14th for against. And you've got to think that Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City are always in the top 4 for all of these for and against for set pieces. And Man United are there at 18th, 20th, and 15th for 4, as 14th, 9th, and 4th for against. We've consistently been bad at set pieces over the last 3 years. And Ramsey came in at the end of the 21-22 season, and he's just not improved us. We do not look like a threat from set pieces. And yes, we could say, to be fair to Ramsey, maybe Manchester United don't have the players. Maybe we just got players that are naturally bad at set pieces. But it's like, when we've been consistently bad at set pieces for this long, we've had a coach for this long, and some other teams are awful, it's like, you just got to look at it and be like, what are we doing? Because Bruno Fernandes has a good delivery on him, but we just don't seem to be good at set pieces. But one thing I will say is Mason Mount is probably better than Bruno at delivering set pieces. Mason Mount's biggest strength for Chelsea was actually set piece delivery. So if I'm Manchester United, I think let's put Mason Mount on some set pieces, because that's something he's good at when he's back. Now, another thing I want to talk about before I get into the news is this. And I think Doogie made a really good point here. He said, we put so much pressure on young strikers these days, but it's worth remembering that some of the greats have struggled to adapt to the Premier League. Suarez got 9 goals in his first season. Drogba got 4 goals in his first 15 games. And Henry got 1 goal in his first 12 league games. And obviously, Hojlund with 1 goal in 14 games. There's been a lot of stick on Hojlund. People saying he's not good enough. Man United have wasted a load of money. Hojlund's a flop, this and that. But actually, when you sort of think about it and you dive into it, you go, to be honest, a lot of the top Premier League players, Suarez, Henry, Drogba, they didn't hit the ground running to begin with. They didn't get crazy Haaland numbers. And I think from watching Rasmus Hojlund, I know that Rasmus Hojlund is an incredibly good and incredibly talented player. Just from watching him play, I know that he makes good runs. I know that he's physically good. I know he's got the athleticism. I know he can dribble. He can hold up play. I know that Hojlund has the attributes to be a top player. I know that when he has a chance, he can finish. You've got to actually think that, all his goals, he's finished very well. And as Doogie said, Henry didn't hit the ground running. And I think people have written off Hojlund so early, but he just scored a goal. I think that will get him started. He's top scorer in the Champions League. You can't be a bad player and be top scorer in the Champions League, especially if you're playing for Manchester United, who created no chances, other than the Champions League games where we did actually create chances. And I think, for me, that just gives me more hope that Hojlund will be a top player for United. I just wanted to talk about those 2 bits of information, talk about the set pieces and Hojlund, and give Hojlund a bit of praise and go in on the set pieces. But now I want to get back to the news. And this was obviously said by the Times Sport. Ten Hag was asked if he had done anything differently regarding the treatment of Jadon Sancho, and Ten Hag said, no, I wouldn't do anything differently. And to be fair to Ten Hag, a lot of people have given him a stick saying he treated Sancho too harshly. But we saw Pep did the exact same thing to Guardiola, and Guardiola got on with it. He got back in the squad. He apologised to Pep. At the end of the day, Ten Hag called Sancho out for not training hard enough. Maybe Sancho feels that's unfair because he wouldn't have called other people out. But Ten Hag's just like, apologise to me, you can come back in. Work hard in training, you can come back in. And Sancho doesn't want to do that. So why should Ten Hag act differently if Sancho's just being an idiot and would rather not play football for 4 months than apologise, get him out of the squad? And then the next report that came out was by Fabrizio Romano, and he said that Manchester United want to sign a central defender in 2024, maybe 2, including 1 in January, but it depends on the budget and the options in the market as well. And Fabrizio Romano's been saying this for a while. He's saying United are actually targeting 2 centre-backs, a right centre-back and a left centre-back. Ideally, they'd like 1 in January, but if they want a big one, it will probably come in the summer. So we have to keep an eye on centre-backs United are looking at. We've been linked to Ignacio Todibo, Jared Branthwaite of Everton. We've been linked to quite a few players, and I definitely think with the injuries we've had, with players like Lindelof not being good enough and potentially Varane leaving, we definitely need 2 centre-backs. But going into other bit of information, and I discussed this in my live stream yesterday, so I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but I thought Benjamin Hunt made a really good point about the Blanc appointment. He said bringing in Blanc is massive. People don't like to talk about finances when it comes to United, as it usually used as a stick to beat us with due to the Glazers. But he said, but Blanc will take us from a club with some of the most revenue to having the most revenue. He made PSG one of the most marketable institutions in the world. Imagine what he could do at United. All that does is give us more financial freedom, both on and off the pitch. That will allow us for high spending on infrastructure, on facilities, and that should cause us not to worry about FFP again. Couple that with someone like Paul Mitchell and the structure to not just start to revive us, but will make us feel again. And he makes a really solid point. And what he's saying is, Blanc went into Juventus when they sort of had that Serie B thing, that crisis, when Juventus were in a financial crisis, got Juventus out of financial crisis, obviously trimmed down the wage bill, but also gave Juventus a economic advantage over the rest of Serie A because they were the first team to own their stadium, which gave Juventus so much more money than all the other clubs, which meant they could go on and win 10 league titles in a row. He goes to PSG, and PSG, like Man City, they've got new ownership, so of course they're going to have a load of money and be good. But PSG sell hundreds of millions more a year than Man City. He's made PSG a brand, which means that PSG bring in a crazy amount of revenue through that brand. Manchester United is already a massive club. Manchester United, as crap as we are on the pitch, we still always generate some of the most amount of money. When you bring in someone that's a commercial genius like Blanc, not only will the Glazers like that because he will bring in more money commercially, but if he brings in more money commercially, that means we have more money to spend without having to worry about FFP. And if we actually have someone like Paul Mitchell and Dan Ashworth in place choosing where we spend that money, then United have an advantage over everyone. United don't need state ownership to compete at the very top. United just need competent people that know how to spend that money. And if United are run by someone that's going to make this club generate more and more money, that means we've got more money to spend on transfers, and hopefully we'll have competent people in, so we know that we spend that money on transfers well. Now, talking of transfers to end the video, and I spoke about some of this in yesterday's video and yesterday's live stream, but there's 2 bids being prepared for United players. And I want to just give you all the latest on transfer outs. It was firstly said that Man United will not activate Martial's contract by David Ornstein. Man United will listen to bids for him in January. The Sun claimed that United rejected a 40 million offer for Mason Greenwood from Getafe, but there's no way Getafe even have 40 million. That was definitely the Sun BS. Anyone that believes that is an idiot. It was then said by Sports PO that Borussia Dortmund are lining up a bid for Dan Gore. We had a rant about that in yesterday's live stream, that they would like him. But as well as Borussia Dortmund lining up a bid for Dan Gore, Benfica are targeting Alvaro Fernandez, who's valued at 6 million. Contact has already been made with Granada about the possibility of breaking his loan deal in January. Now, that looks like there could be a 6 million bid coming in for Alvaro Fernandez. And I have to say this, if Benfica or Dortmund or Ajax want to buy your youth players, don't sell them. Especially don't be selling them on the absolute cheap. We sold Garner, we sold Elanga, we sold Fernandez, we sold Gore. We are very, very silly. But anyway, people, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I wanted to sort of talk about a few things that weren't super news related in the middle of the video, just because I think the news can be a bit repetitive. But please do smash that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Thank you for watching. Bye.